Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to the second session of the ROS. Please keep your energy in the high level because today we want to install the ROS in our computer, in our local system. So let's start. Ask the Google to find the ROS operating system official website here. Click on it and scroll down. Go to the documentations. Here, as already mentioned, that you can find all of the documents that you need for the different version and distributions for the ROS. Because I know, because for example, I have already took a look at the Jazzy documentations. I know that this is version distributions is proper for my systems because in my computers I already installed the Ubuntu 24 versions. And if you, for example, go here, platform support, and click on the, for example, this link, uh, and find the Jazzy Go here, you can see that the Jazzy Go is actually would be support from 2024 to 2029, and this is the architectures and the operating system that also is a support. For example, because already mentioned that I installed the Ubuntu Noble 24 version, so is actually proper versions for my systems. So by this actually method, you can find the best distributions that you need to install. But if you have any questions, please leave in the comment for me. I can actually suggest you according to your operating systems to what is the best version that you need. Okay, let's back and go to the Jazzy Jalisco documentations here. Click on it. Nice. Continue by the clicking on the installations. Here we have two method of the installations. One is a binary package, another one is the building from the source. What is the differences? Actually, binary packages, it means that the main maintainers of the ROS, I mean that for example Open Robotics, already build and make the binaries for the ROS operating systems. And by this method, just we download this binary and install in our systems. When I'm talking about the install, it means that we have to put and locate this binary in the proper file directory in our systems. Nothing more. So this is very easy and very quick. Just download it, binaries, and put it in your file directories. But the second method, we call it building from the source, is a different. And it means that first you have to download all the sources for the ROS, robotic operating systems, and then compile and make and build binary from these sources. Everything happen in your computer, in your local systems, and then you have to install in the your system. So of course that this is more complex, take more times, and but in has some, actually both of them method has some advantages and disadvantages. As I already mentioned, binary is quick, fast, easy. For the for building from the source, of course that you can have a better view about what happened inside of the source because you can see all of the sources for the ROS. And also maybe if you want to debug something, it would be interesting. But for these sessions, I decided to continue by the binary package. And just I have already mentioned that many of the Linux on the, for example, packages that you downloaded, for example, by the apt advanced, for example, package tools in the Linux, you usually download only the binary. You don't download the source code, although the source code is open source, but we usually download the binary. So I continue with the Ubuntu Linux because it is my operating systems and using the Debian packages as recommended. But as you know that, okay, this is for example, if you have a Red Hat, you have to follow up this instruction. If you have Windows, you have to follow up these instructions. But I have a Linux, I'm using this one. Here there are some steps. As you can see here, we have a step one. we have to do something. But just it's a good actually moment. I think I have to mention something. When you want to copy paste some of the code or command from the internet to your local systems, please be careful. Please give it some seconds to think more. It is really command that you have to run it in your system or not. Because as you know, these days, cybersecurity attacks or something like that are very, very common and very, very important that you have considered this issue and topic in your when you want to actually work as a developers. So please do not copy paste everything that you find in the internet in your systems. For now, we know that okay, now we are following up the instructions from the ROS official website. But don't trust, please. You have to increase your knowledge. You have to increase your knowledge about every command that you are running in your systems. So please, step by step, follow me. How can we install the ROS? It's very, very easy. Just maybe I just wanted to give you some explanations what happening. About the first step, that as you can see here, we have to actually make sure that our systems support the UTF-8. It's very important. What is the UTF-8? UTF-8 actually is a universe character standardized or character encoding that we have to use it for the transferring text or something like that. And we have to ensure that our system, as already mentioned, that support UTF-8 because the ROS2 expects it and the need UTF-8 standard to use it. So if you want to transfer text or something like that, you have to follow up some of the standard. It doesn't matter that you are transferring from the two different process or two different hardware or something like that. Let me give you an example to clear this one. For example, I have a keyboard here. When I push a button here from the signals, for example, as you probably can see here, this cable is connected to my computer, my desktop. When I push the button, of course, that, for example, I push the H or G or K, I have to transfer this character to my computer. How can I transfer? I have to transfer numbers because the systems, the computer only understand the numbers. So we have to translate all of this text, all of these phenomena. For example, now the pushing the, for example, the K to the some kind of the numbering. What is this standard? Is a UTF-8 standard. Let me show you something here. For example, UTF-8 table. Here, for example, we have some kind of the hex code, and each of the hex code is assigned to each of the symbols and character that we are using. UTF-8, I think it support almost all the languages and symbols that probably you know. For example, when you in the keyboard, when you push the lowercase of the A, you send this number to my computer. Or if you push the A, this one, you send the 41 hex code to the computer. And of course that hex code to binary. For example, when I push the number here, for example, for the A, number A, push on the keyboard, we send the 61. So the 61 transfer to the binary is something like that. Here we convert, actually, this is some steps happen. First, we push the button in the keyboard, and this one should be translated to the, for example, a number. This number should translate to the some electrical signal. We call signals. For example, I push the button according to the UTF-8 I have to send 41, and this one should be transferred to the my computer by the electric signal. This electric signal is actually some kind of the translated of the binary code. Here it means that, for example, for the 0, it means that we have a low voltage. in the one here, for example, it means that high voltage, and this voltage actually is something like that high. Let me here, for example, if you want to translate this binary code to the, for example, electronic signals, I have the, for example, 0 1, again I have a 1, then I have a 0, then I have a zeros or something like that. So these signals actually transfer to my computers. This is something that happened. Yes, but from the ROS we reach out to here, I don't know why. Okay, and please continue the instructions. So we enable the UTF-8 in our systems, and then the next command, as you can see here, we try to enable the universe. We have to be ensured that this repository universe, this is an official repository for the Ubuntu. So we have to ensure that this is enabled already in our systems, because I know that the ROS need some packages from this repository, and probably you already know that the Ubuntu has some official repository, such as the main universe is one of them. And then by this command, just we want to enable this one in our computer. The next step, so this is a step 2. The next step is step 3. In the step 3, we have to first install the curl. Curl is one of the important tools that if you install this one in your system, then by your terminal command, you can communicate with the internet. For example, send for example, the data, receive a data, or something like that, download files or anything. We need the tools, because in the next command, as you can see here, by the curl command, we read something. I think now we are reading the latest version of the ROS2 source packages here. And after we install it, by the curl command, we install this here, this actually Debian packages. And actually, after these 2 steps, our system should be able to support 2 main items. The first one, when we are using the apt is a advanced package tools, is a package manager in our systems in Ubuntu, should be able to find where exactly the source of the packages for the ROS. The second items is that after we install these Debian packages, we install the public key for each of for the ROS packages. What is a public key? Probably you have already, maybe you have some kind of the knowledge about the GPG key. GPG key is some asymmetric cryptography methods to sign the packages. Let me give an example. When you install any packages from the ROS, first you have to be ensured that these packages is published by the official ROS maintainers. How can we do it? By this method. ROS maintainers have a key, let's call it private key. And when we ask them, please give us these packages, they sign the package. For example, they have a package. They sign the package by the private key, and they put the signature in the packages. For example, we call it signatures. When these packages we receive these packages in our systems. For example, here we have our system in our computer. The apt2 first, by the public key that we have already installed by these commands, by the public key, verify this package is correct or not. If the package is correct, see the signatures. If the package is correct, then lets the system to install and continue installations process. Otherwise, it mentioned that give an error or stop the installations process or something like that. So by this method, we can verify that this package is published by the correct private key. That's this private key is only available for the ROS maintainers, and no one else in the world have this private key. So it's very important that if you want to using some asymmetric methods such as GPG, when you generate two keys, private and public key, you can keep it private keys securely for yourselves, but you can publish your public key to the any ones that you want to use your packages and verify your signatures. This is the methods that happens when we want to install. So by this installation, these Debian packages, we have two items. The first one, that the app tool know, after that knows that where is the URL that needs to download the ROS packages. The second item is that install the public key for the ROS. The next one, install the development tools optionals. Actually, by this method, by this command, that you have to install some of the dev tools for the ROS. For example, if you want to develop your packages in the ROS, you need this tool. So please install this one on your systems. And the last items is that last step is that to install the ROS. After you write this update, update your repository caches and run this command to upgrade also. So you can here sudo apt install ROS Jazzy desktop. There are two different versions that you can install. Is one desktop version or base version. Desktop version has most of the items that we want to, for example, for these courses. For example, is also this install the RVs, install the ROS, and anything else that we want. So this is a full version of the everything that the ROS needs. So, but if you want to run, for example, install Jazzy in some kind of the embedded system, for example, maybe in the Raspberry or something like that, maybe you don't need some graphical items of the ROS, such as the ROS visualizations or something like that. So just you need the basic of the ROS, so you can follow this one. But in our desktop, because we need the graphic or something like that, we follow up the ROS Jazzy desktop versions, and then everything is ready. Command by command, we can run in our terminals. You can open a terminal here, and then just need to copy paste each of the command here. For example, first I have to run the local command, and as you can see here, I have already installed enabled the UTF-8 for my ROS. So no need to follow up the other commands, but if you don't have a UTF-8, please also run the other commands. Then go to the step number 2 to enable the universe repository. I have already did it, so again, no need to follow up this command, but just to be sure that I have already this one. Okay, and also follow up the step number 3. Download and install the kernel here. Let me see. For example, I think I have already kernel. As you can see here, I have a kernel, so no need to install. But if you don't have a kernel, please install it and then follow up the other commands. As you can see here, download this Debian package, put it in the temporary file, and in the temporary file you can install this Debian packages. And then also download this one, ROS Dev Tools. Just copy paste this one here in your terminal, and then finally run the run these commands to download and install the Jazzy Jalisco here. Very easily you can download it here. But I have already installed Jazzy Jalisco in my systems. So after actually run all of these commands, please verify the installation is done or not done. So if you take a look at for example, if you use the ls to go to the actually in root opt ROS, you have to see this folder in these sections, and then Jazzy, this is a version, that we install. And as you can see here, the required files for the ROS installed in my systems in the file directory. This one is here. So you, after the installation, you have to see this directory in your system and these files. The next step, we have to introduce to our systems where it can find our ROS command. For example, if we, run the ROS2, how to find the ROS2 commands. For example, if we want to run the ROS2 package, how can the systems, my operating systems, can find the ROS commands? We need to actually consider some more steps, but let me see you in the next video.